Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to this pre-show countdown for our Season of Dawn reveal live stream. We're grateful that you have gathered together to receive this message about action and hope and loot and heroism today. This is an opportunity for you to adjust your audio levels. We are doing the same thing inside of our studio at this very moment. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please sign off in chat wherever you have gathered with a hell yeah. The stream will begin on numerous platforms, on numerous channels, in approximately 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Aïe aïe aïe, ça y est, me voilà, 20 secondes juste avant que ça commence. Du coup, salut tout le monde. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on fait là? Eh bien, on va regarder ensemble le live de Bungie qui commence dans 10 secondes. On va regarder tout ça ensemble. Et ensuite, on partira sûrement sur du Destiny 2 et on fera du PVP. Voilà, donc on va regarder tout ça ensemble. Et on va essayer de voir ce qu'ils vont nous dire sur la nouvelle saison qui arrive mardi prochain. Donc la saison 9, la saison de l'aube. Hop, je vais mettre le petit chat. Tac. Donc je sais pas si on baissera à un moment donné la musique du live, si c'est un petit peu trop fort, vous me direz. Salut Val, salut Phoenix.
You've been busy, Guardian.
Ah, ils vont. Là, voilà. Là, c'est le trailer qui a été lancé hier, donc qui est disponible sur la chaîne si vous voulez le voir. Donc voilà, ils nous le remettent, ça dure 2 minutes 30 à peu près. Et ensuite, ça commence. Aïe aïe aïe, je sais pas du tout ce qu'ils vont nous dire. Déjà, dans le trailer, on comprend énormément de choses. Alors, je sais pas ce qu'ils vont nous dire de plus dans ce live. Peut-être qu'ils vont nous éclairer sur le nouvel artefact, ce qui va nous donner comme bonus. Et peut-être la nouvelle activité sur les cabales à 6 joueurs aussi qui arrive avec la nouvelle saison. Donc je pense qu'ils vont nous parler de ça essentiellement. Après, s'ils nous disent de nouvelles choses, ce serait cool. Ça nous donne vraiment envie de jouer à cette nouvelle saison. Mais déjà c'est pas mal hein. Regardez ce qui arrive. Voilà, il y a 5-14 qui revient. Donc est-ce qu'on va combattre avec lui? Comme je vous ai dit au dernier live, ouais, je sais pas. Je sais pas s'il revit ou si quelqu'un prend son armure ou autre chose. Salut Alex. Salut Colo. Aïe 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 aïe. De base c'était pas prévu le live hein. Je me suis dit allez on va faire ça en live. La petite map l'hype juste avant la nouvelle saison. Ensuite on fera du Destiny 2. Cette musique quoi. Ils savent mettre dans l'ambiance. Il est vraiment stylé hein, l'effet. Donc ça ce sera le nouvel exotique fusil éclair qu'on pourra avoir avec les rangs de saison. Voilà, petit 5-14 là en artwork. Allez, let's go.
Hello and welcome to a Bungie live stream. We are here to take a look at Season of Dawn.
Ils ont mis des petits goodies sur la table, il y a plein de petits goodies, plein de trucs qu'on peut acheter. Ils savent que c'est Noël. Hein. Même à droite, regardez toutes les statues. Ah les enfoirés.
Rachel and Jonathan, do me a favor, introduce yourself to our community by talking a little bit about what you do at Bungie and what was your unique and personal contribution to Season of Dawn.
I'm a producer on Vanguard Omega. I helped lead all the different disciplines and create this really cool experience for the community.
And I was the narrative lead on the season. I collaborated with design and art to help bring you guys the story of Saint 14's big return.
Il se présente.
Very colorful today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for noticing. It's a lion, and it is meant to remind me that a lion doesn't try to be fierce, it just is, just like Saint 14.
That wasn't
That's
rehearsed
not
at all.
a joke.
No, and it wasn't rehearsed either. It was very extemporaneous.
Ils font des petites blagounettes sur son qui porte sa petite veste lion.
A great deal of Saint 14 hype, I guess we would have to say. Yes. And as developers,
je suis pas un expert en anglais, hein. Vous le savez très bien, donc je compte sur vous dans le chat pour aider aussi à la traduction. Surtout si j'ai des conneries, n'hésitez pas à clarifier les trucs.
Probably my favorite part of the evening with my fiance. We just sat there and watched as people tried to speculate what was going to be happening through the season. Professor Brumyan was probably my favorite reaction so far.
Yes, yes.
It was a lot of cursing.
It was a little bit of cursing, a little bit of curse words, but that enthusiasm, you know, those real-time reactions, those visceral reactions to the things that we work so hard on. I mean, is that not the best moment as a developer? You know, when you create something, to see someone respond to it, to see someone experience it for the first time. That's why we do it.
Absolutely. And I totally get the fan experience. I was a fan during vanilla Destiny 1. When I was just a player, I was a fan of Saint 14's character. Back when he was just a grimoire story and a helm. It's been an honor and a privilege to help bring a deep lore character like Saint 14 to the forefront of the player experience in Destiny. It's too bad he's dead right now. The players are going to have to pull a miracle out of their butts to save him, but they've done it before, so maybe they can do it again.
Maybe. If anyone can, our community can. As somebody who has taken that deep lore character and given them new life, talk to me about how you relate personally to the character of Saint 14.
So Saint is probably the most lawful good character that we've ever created. Mm-hmm. He loves pigeons. He loves pigeons so much that he's named his ship after them. He's very large. He's very wholesome. Yes. And sometimes that gets him into trouble, like the time that he died.
Quite literally a saint in that case.
Absolutely.
A virtuous character, the sacrifice.
He's in trouble right now, guys. He needs your help.
Okay. So that help will be on the way on December 10th. When
Absolutely.
Season of Dawn begins, less than a week away now. So there's a lot of anticipation, there's a lot of excitement. Rachel, give us a sense, we start with an idea, we decide on a story that we want to tell. As a producer, you're sort of bringing all these disciplines together into one creative process. How did everybody sort of share that inspiration and that motivation in doing all of the work that made this possible?
I mean, it really wasn't hard to bring people together in this case. John and all the writers on the seasonal team have really inspired a lot of the team and how we actually go about building the season. Though that passion is super inspiring.
Nico, Christine, and Paul, you guys were amazing.
They were all really amazing. He helped really inspire how we built the season and influence what the actual season was. People brainstormed together. We built the season as a team collaboratively, just like we built everything in Destiny together. It was definitely a really cool collaboration and cooperation for everybody.
I want to share a piece of art that I think a lot of people on the team have a lot of heart for. And this piece of art really encapsulates the mood that we've created with Season of Dawn. This is the idea that we've all come together to embrace. And Jonathan, what can you tell us about the themes and the ideas that are captured in this beautiful piece of artwork? And programming note, we will release this on social media imminently. So that if you would like to make this your wallpaper or what have you, you don't need to go screenshotting right now. You only need to go and consult our Twitter channels. But talk to us from a creative standpoint as to what this speaks to you about.
For sure. So besides being an awesome piece of art, all of that gear that you saw there belonged to Saint 14. The piece, though, is not about the gear itself. The piece, to me, is about Saint's absence, and perhaps even how Osiris feels about Saint's absence. The helm that you saw there is iconic. It's been with us since the very first version of Destiny, and it's synonymous with Saint as a character. The shotgun is it's called the Perfect Paradox. It is Saint's signature weapon. It was forged by our players way back in the Curse of Osiris expansion. And I wrote the lore tab for that weapon that happened to insinuate that players would perhaps one day be able to bring that weapon back to Saint 14. There's a huge problem right now, though, because he's dead. He's still dead. And we're going to have to solve that before we can give Saint back his weapon. The ribbons that you saw there as well, Saint brought those with him everywhere. There's more to their story than just armor ornamentation, though, and we'll get more into that as our story progresses.
Wonderful. New mysteries to discover, new challenges to overcome, new miracles to pull out of.
De toute façon, je vous ferai un petit récap de tout ça une fois le live
Thank you
passé.
so much for the work that you've done to create this moment of excitement for our community. People are really looking forward to embarking on this new journey, and that happens on Tuesday.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah. So telling a new story with Season of Dawn is just one of the things that we're doing. Let's take a look at everything else that we have planned for the months and weeks to come. As is customary and typical, we like to release a calendar of all of the events. If you are screenshotting, if you are squinting to read the fine print, this is also going out on social media. Many different reasons to engage with Destiny, many different awesome things to add to your collection, special events to recognize the season, exotic weapons that you can go on a quest to earn, Crimson Days celebrating, the love between members of our community, etc. and so on.
Je sais pas si c'est la SRF qui revient.
Please do consult our social media channels. And look at this, we have 2 more developers in our hot seats. Robbie, Tomo, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for
having us.
We're
going to have a conversation now about how the beginning of one season on the tail end of the end of another really will have an opportunity to change the game. And before we jump into that conversation, give our audience an idea as to, for yourselves, what you do at Bungie and what was your unique fingerprint on Season of Dawn.
So I'm a creative lead at Bungie, which means I'm the one who is kind of the vision holder for the seasons we're working on. And I basically work with the team in a collaborative manner to collect the best ideas and work on those ideas with everyone to bring them to life in the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Tomo.
Yeah, I'm the combat air lead here at Bungie, part of the systems team, and so something that we, like one of our mandates is to make sure that we're continuously updating the game, keeping it fresh, keeping it engaging for players, and so definitely trying to do that again with Season of Dawn.
Yeah, creating the action.
Yep.
In that moment when we finally get to play, we can feel your work. All right, that's wonderful. Robbie, Season of the Undying is coming to an end. Season of Dawn begins. This is going to be a different feel for our community than it was last year when we went from one season to the next. Can you give me a sense of how our goals are changing there? I know that we may have seen you or Luke Smith previously in Bungie Media talking about the fact that we're trying to build something that lives, right? So talk to me about how the beginning of this season really is a realization of those goals.
So something we're really trying to do is take the triumphs, take the victories, and maybe even sometimes the failures that you experience as a player when you're in these seasons, and have them directly connect and evolve in the stories that we're telling moving forward. And so, basically the community is actively stopping the Undying Mind right now and stopping the Vex threat from the Black Garden. And during this time, Osiris is in the Infinite Forest, and he sees this timeline that the Guardians are on, and he sees calamity, and so that's why he's leaving the Infinite Forest. And so basically your actions as a player are directly propelling us into the next season. And if you think about how we used to build our campaigns, right?
Like, that would be an experience that you would play once at the
beginning of the year. It would be finite and it would end quickly. And really what we're trying to do is kind of take that experience of the world changing, of the world evolving, of your actions having meaningful impact. It's something that you experience throughout the year and not just at the burst whenever a big expansion comes out.
Yeah. And I think if we look back at Season of the Forge, Season of the Drifter, Opulence, they were these self-contained,
en fait, il explique en gros que la saison où on était avec les Vex, qu'on a dû arrêter, enfin Ikora nous a aidé à arrêter les Vex. En fait, c'est la nouvelle saison qui va arriver, c'est la suite directe de la saison. Enfin, c'est normal, voilà, c'est l'histoire en fait. Je pense là c'est beaucoup de blabla.
A lasting impact, and you impact the way the story gets told and the way the story evolves.
And so I think something also interesting that we get to do is we actually actively get to see how people are actually reacting to the stories that they're experiencing as well. And as we're developing the future seasons as well, we're thinking about that, and we're thinking about the things that they like and they dislike as well, which is different than what we've been able to do in the past in some ways.
So in any moment of gameplay or discovery, you're putting the pieces on the board that you can pay off later.
Yes, and I mean it's something like John was mentioning before, that we had something in Deep Lore from years ago, and I think what we're seeing now is a game where we can actually players can actually initiate things happening, and we actually get to react to them faster. There's going to be a lot less of the there's something in lore that we never talk about, and it's going to be a lot more of okay, we say something at one point in the season, and we really want to try to react to it within a shorter time period, really.
Well, we've had a lot of talk so far about ideas and feelings and goals and ideas. Let's actually take a look at the game, Tomo. Show us how we can configure a hunter.
On peut voir le petit logo, le nouveau logo, c'est un aigle.
Je pense que c'est 14 écrit dessus de 214.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I look
freaking awesome. I'm a hunter.
That's step one, of course. But also, like Robbie said, even through our combat, like the action game, we want it to feel like you're evolving. Your guardian, your setup, your monster killing machine, that is evolving season over season. One of the ways we're doing that, of course, is as some of you might have read on our weekly updates, we have a solar subclass update coming with Season of Dawn. But on top of that, season over season, we're injecting new ways to play when it comes to like the artifact, changing up the mods there. So I'll dive in there real quickly. As you can see, last season it was the Gate Lord's Eye. This season it's called the Lantern of Osiris. Osiris and Saint 14 are two main storylines, and so this is part of a storyline that will evolve over the course of this season, and you'll understand like where this kind of falls into place. We've also changed up a little bit of the artifact in the way like we have our mods laid out. As you can notice, we have in our first column here now we have our champion mods. Because the artifact resets at the end of the season, you're going to get a new one. We want to make sure that this is something that you can reacquire pretty early on. These are going to be for different weapon archetypes from what you're used to in the past, and these will help you overcome, and you'll see here shortly, like the champions that we have for the Cabal.
This is your perfect weapon for the new combat conditions. As you go into the Sundial, which we will be playing in a matter of moments, this is going to really play into how you can perfectly configure your character to confront those new challenges.
Exactly. And this upcoming season, we're focusing more on the long-range combat, precision shooting, and I'm sure Guardians have noticed that last season it was focused more heavily on Arc and Void. This upcoming season, because we did the Solar subclass update as well, we're going to be focusing heavily on Solar and Void as our secondary element.
Okay.
So here's a couple that I've
donc la saison
selected
dernière,
for
il se
myself.
focusait sur l'aspect abyssal et cryo, et là cette saison c'est beaucoup solaire et un petit peu d'abyssal.
As well as in the second column here, our Guardians probably remember from this past season, all of them were reloader mods. We've actually mixed it up, so now you can also get unflinching for certain weapon archetypes, as well as enhanced targeting. And then we've also added a couple new mods that players haven't seen yet. My personal favorite that I'm looking forward to using is this one called Guardian Angel. This allows you to get a chance of a healing orb to drop if you get a precision kill. And yeah, you have to use one of the precision weapons that is in meta for this season.
All right. And then let's take a look at configuring your character. Armor 2.0 was something that people delved into for the first time at the beginning of last season, and I understand it's evolving in this season.
It is. So the rewards team did an awesome job of giving us Armor 2.0, but Armor 2.0 by itself isn't the end of it. Like
le casque c'est quand même stylé de la nouvelle saison. Après l'ensemble de l'armure, je le trouve pas super stylé, mais le casque en tout cas, les jambières sont
now has a different symbol in their fourth mod slot here. Instead of having the Vex symbol for signifying the last season, we now have a new symbol for Season of Dawn. And over the course of the season, through various activities within the season, you'll be able to acquire new mods that you haven't seen before. And these mods now have like a new mechanic that is called Charge with Light. And when you're charged with light, you actually get these benefits. So there's certain mods that allow you to get charges of light, and then there's certain mods that allow you to consume Charge of Light. And this becomes like this new gameplay engine that actually works throughout the entirety of Destiny now. It isn't just for the Nightmare Hunts or just for the raid. So we're pretty excited for that.
Fantastic. All right, what else you got for us? What else is new?
All right, since I'm a hunter and I want to look cool, finishers is also a great way to look cool.
Yes.
So I'm going to go down to the finisher blade, and players might notice here that now you don't have just a single finisher icon here, so, signifying that that is what you have equipped. Instead, now we have a new multi-equip feature. On systems, we want to continue to evolve our features and continue to make the experience better for our players. And so what multi-equip does is more or less like a playlist for your finishers, and you can have up to 9 in your bucket here, and then you can actually just do like a right thumbstick click, and then you can favorite them, and you see that little star next to that where it says legendary, and then that allows you to actually then have those randomly be selected when you're doing finishers in the game.
And you want to preview one of your favorites for us? One or two of your favorites?
I'm definitely going to say, since Saint 14's coming back, everyone's going to love this one, right? You gotta get that head bash.
Plutôt classe celui-là de finisher.
And how can we earn that one?
This one I believe is on the season's pass. So yeah, as long as you get the season's pass and you're playing the game, you'll be able to earn it really quickly. And then you also have other ones that are going to be in the Eververse store. My personal favorite is this one here. Love that one.
All right, so it's easy to do this to a sweeper bot tackle dummy, but why don't you give us a taste of how this stuff actually looks in the wild?
Definitely. So,
and for that,
on est sur Mercure. Alors, est-ce que ça change? Parce que
Sparrow's on Mercury. Let's see your parkour skills. Can you stick the landing?
J'espère qu'ils ont agrandi la map parce que s'ils mettent le passe-through, c'est cool, mais on fait en moins de 10 secondes le tour, quoi. Il tire dans les jambes. Ah, il fait le petit coup de grâce. Ok. Comment c'est dommage, ils ont pas mis le son de jeu.
Where you going? Oh, you're far too lethal.
I'm too good.
Just too good for
our
own good.
Il y a un petit bonus solaire.
Alright, seeking targets.
Donc moi je voudrais bien voir, est-ce qu'il y a des ajouts sur la map?
Shoot him in the kneecap.
You're kneecapping that guy.
Oh, there's the headbutt.
Beautiful.
Ah, voilà, ils ont mis le son. Nickel.
Come on. Well, this isn't your dance. You want some of this?
Yeah,
you can have some. Wonderful. All right, that all looks great. So, changes afoot. New stories, new artifact, new combat meta. Obviously, when we're telling a new story and we have new media out there, we love to watch their reactions. But when we change the way they fight, there's obviously reactions there as well.
Yeah, so I think we've talked a lot about the combat, we've talked a lot about Mercury, and you guys are going to see the sundials soon. And I think something to think about and understand for the season is that there's going to be a lot more than just Mercury, than just the combat, right? Like you're going to be asked to go throughout the solar system, go to Tangled Shore, go to destinations that you haven't been to in a while to basically help stop this new Cabal threat. That's appeared in the system, and as you guys are actively playing the season and you're reacting to it, we're going to be listening, we're going to be watching, and we're going to be thinking of how we can integrate the things that you care about, you like or dislike, into our future season development. And it's something that we think about a lot and we try to pay attention to a lot. So,
cool.
Yeah.
New PvP maps.
Yep, we got Rusted Lands coming back.
Rusted Lands
Ok, nouvelle map PvP. Donc on a pu voir dans le trailer. Donc c'était déjà une map. Enfin, en tout cas, il y en a une qui était déjà disponible en Destiny 1.
Certainly near and dear to our hearts because that's really where the Destiny sandbox was born. A lot of our earliest iterations on the way Guardians move and the way they fight come off of that map, and that's a wonderful place to send our community back to. So if you're a fan of the Crucible, there's also new things to engage with, something for everyone. Yep. And of course, we will be watching, we'll be listening, and this conversation will continue. I think we're being extremely interactive with how we react to the players these days.
We're trying, yeah.
The developers are reacting, the game is reacting, even the characters in the world are reacting. So we'll continue that rolling.
Indeed.
All right. Thank you so much. I think it's time now to see the sundial in action, and for that, we need to introduce you to the fire team that we have assembled right here, live on set.
Là on va passer un petit peu sur les maps PVP.
Welcome to the show, Cosmo.
Hey, Deej.
Thanks for bringing together a group of people to take on the Cabal in this new activity. Who do you have assembled in your fighting party today?
Well, we're ready to go. To my left is Alexandra from the player support team. To my right is Eric, who is an investment test engineer, works on Season of the Dawn. And then across from me is Doug, who is an animator, works on a lot of the emotes that you see. Mitch is another investment test engineer, and then John is a test engineer. And we're ready to go and take on the sundial.
Well, you all look fabulous, but show me your Guardians. Let's take a look at how you are dressed for the occasion. Look at that. Lots of new gear to add to your collections. Using our developer tools, we can have this God's Eye floating through the space. You can see the gear that every player of Destiny 2 can earn as part of Season of Dawn, and then if you're a holder of the Season Pass, obviously in the premium track, you can earn
on est
these
les armures en
ornaments.
mode normal et les armures avec les ornements.
Pas les ornements sont
largement plus stylés. Enfin, si j'ai bien compris, c'est ça.
Can't wait to make my Warlock look that unflinchingly noble. So, thanks for the preview. Before we actually activate the activity, I would like to introduce you to two more developers who have braved the hot seats. I'm here with Antim and Matt, and you guys worked to actually create this new activity and refresh the destinations. But in your own words, please tell our audience what your contribution was to Season of Dawn.
Personally, I was responsible for doing a lot of the visual effects and stuff like that. But like with our team, like we were able to collaborate all together to build this like beautiful experience. And without the help of Matt, like we were able to build something really engaging as well.
I am an activities designer, and with the help of Anselm, we were able to make a really cool experience for you. I worked on activity structure and counter design, your overall experience as you go through encounters and interact with the mechanics and your moment-to-moment what you're shooting in the face, essentially.
That's really what it comes down to, doesn't it?
That's what we've always been at war with the Cabal.
Yes, we have, whether we wanted it.
Whether we wanted it or not.
Whether we wanted it or not. All right. So let's go ahead and check in with our fire team. We're going to lay down some developer commentary while they shoot those things in the face.
Ok, non, du coup, je pensais que c'était PvP, mais en fait, c'est la nouvelle activité à 6 joueurs contre les cabales.
First thing that we can notice here is that we have a new landing zone for the Sundial. And talk to me a little bit about the inspirations and the design motivations that went into breathing some new life into Mercury.
In Mercury, like, we had this really good opportunity from narrative to like really clash all these different timelines. You got like past, you got present, you got future. And like as artists, like we wanted to like see a lot of these assets again. So like, you know, we just like figure out how to make this like as epic and as beautiful as possible. And then like suddenly we had the idea like, why don't we just put all of them all together? And it was daunting. It was really scary because like there's a lot of technical challenges. You have to like go around with like lighting. You have to go around with world art and just like over and over again to like make sure they actually got it all working with these giant time walls and everything. But in the end, like, you know, it was worth it. Like I'm really proud of the work we were able to do.
So we're going to be fighting our way up this slope here.
Yeah.
Matt, the sundial is sort of emerging in the distance. This is Osiris's device that he can use to sort of control the corridors of time, all the alternate realities. What were some of the themes and what were some of the different motivations that we embraced as we created this new action for the player?
Once we learned what we were doing on the narrative front, Jonto, I'm so sorry. But it was obviously, you know, time cops stopping time crimes.
Time cops stopping time crimes.
And yeah, you can see players here, they just engaged with one of our new Cabal champions.
All right, and so here is this enormous device. What were some of the different inspirations for creating this new structure? It's pretty daunting.
So for Sundial, like, we had to make this crazy time machine. Like it's super dangerous, you know, like it's trying to borrow a lot from this like Vex tech, and then like Osiris, you know, this mystical arcane person's like, I got an idea, and he's built this crazy thing. So like we had to mix like a lot of these structures of like really cool visual effects language that we have for Vex.
Ouais, je pense que ça fait un petit peu comme la ménagerie, on aura des choses aléatoires sur les parties. Je pense qu'on fera pas la même chose. Parce que là, j'ai bien l'impression que c'est de l'aléatoire le truc.
We just built it and like, you know, it looks great. I love it.
So like we have set up in other activities.
En tout cas, le lieu est plutôt stylé. Du coup, il y a un boss au centre là.
The future encounter here.
I love this one.
Yeah.
So they step through an aperture into a different alternate reality, into a different timeline, and
this is what could come to pass.
Pardon me?
This is what could come to pass.
What could come to pass if we are not victorious.
Oh, putain, regardez-moi ce petit pistolet avec 14 d'écriture.
And they step through that window.
Oh là là, il me le faut ce petit pistolet. Vous savez que je kiffe les pistolets. Bah d'ailleurs, c'est pas le nouveau pistolet exotique.
Yes, and the activity bosses will evolve. They will.
On dirait que c'est le pistolet exotique qui a été annoncé.
And there's some surprises I really wish I could talk about. But I'm really excited to talk about. But I'm super excited for players to find out what it is. You know, as the season rolls on.
And to your point, yeah, week over week there will be different bosses for them to face at the end of this activity. Our enemies have some tricks up their sleeves that will be revealed and understood over time. So your first experience with the Sundial will certainly not be like your last experience with the Sundial, and it'll be a varied experience. So
normalement le contrôle en l'air a été augmenté. On n'a pas vu grand chose. Durant la nouvelle saison, les super solaires de toutes les classes ont été levés.
Especially so yeah, the whole one of the goals for when we set this up is it's not a traditional horde mode. There are mechanics in here, and you'll find that there's a lot of different strategies you can incorporate in order to get through the activity and earn your rewards as fast as possible.
Yeah, okay.
And when hard mode comes out, you're gonna want to bring some friends that have, you know, that have leveled up their artifact and gotten better.
Okay.
Mods to.
Il y a 3 morts.
So point of order, the Sundial is a 6-player match-made activity.
Right.
I can bring a pre-made 6-player fire team if I want.
Par contre, la boule qui traverse le bras.
Communicate with each other and coordinate with each other can complete this activity more efficiently, more quickly, get to that loot at the end. But in terms of hard mode, that does require a pre-made fire team.
Ok, du coup pour cette phase, il faut trouver une espèce de bombe pour détruire le bouclier du boss. Et quand il a plus de bouclier, vous pouvez le DPS.
Big bad bosses here.
I think players are going to really enjoy the new champions.
Okay.
One of the big challenges you have to figure out for this particular encounter is that like we have to like be able to throw this ball like
ils ont du mal, hein.
laser and stuff. I'm so glad we got that in there. But like one of the difficulties is that you're looking at this really bright skybox and you have to make a laser like be brighter than the sun when you're on Mercury. And that was like,
l'épisode qui a été annoncé, c'est pas
I'm glad we got it working, but like my gosh, we had to iterate a lot on that one.
So talk to me about what the players are doing right now. They're picking
ah oui,
up
du coup, il y
these
a plusieurs
charges.
boss et puis en fait vous devez tuer les membres de la Légion qui scintillent là, comme vous pouvez le voir sur l'écran. Et quand vous le tuez, il y a une relique au sol, vous prenez la relique, vous la balancez sur le boss, enlevez le bouclier et vous tuez le boss. Et il y a plusieurs phases comme ça, il faut augmenter, comme les ménageries, avoir le maximum de points possible jusqu'à arriver au petit point qu'on peut voir sur la barre de points de score en dessous de l'objectif. Une fois que vous y avez atteint avant la fin du temps, bah voilà, vous avez complété le truc correctement. Et je pense que si vous mettez trop de temps, bah, ça complète le truc, mais comme la ménagerie, vous devez en faire plusieurs. Et vous avez moins de récompenses à la fin. Je pense que ça doit être une fin.
I'm gonna blow up the whole goddamn world with this thing. That's the power of fantasy here.
The sundial itself, it looks like a very dangerous thing. It looks like the type of thing that your mother would tell you not to play on. And here we're sending 6 people up on that thing to play with time. What were some of the different discoveries that you make along the way through playtests with the sundial specifically?
Makes friends. I'm just kidding.
No, it was actually it was kind of humbling and just kind of it was a great like exercise in just user experience because. You spend all this time building encounters, building mechanics and tweaking.
Je pense pas qu'ils vont finir l'activité là en live. Je pense qu'ils vont pas tout montrer parce que s'ils montrent le boss de fin, ce serait un peu trop gros, je pense.
They really just like to
on va voir.
Entertain themselves by just being murdered over and over again. So the sundial, it probably has some design flaws.
Elles sont stylées les emotes là en feu.
There they go.
In some timelines they die, in some timelines they make it, you know? You can't control time.
Well, we encourage you all to be very careful as you play on the sundial. That's the end of the first encounter, and there are several more encounters that would lead to the final boss. We will unveil different final bosses week over week, and that's as far as we're going to go with
les
all
boss
this
vont
today.
changer
So
chaque
we've
semaine,
given you a taste of the
comme la
new
ménagerie,
action, the conditions, what's at stake, what you have to fight with. New champions will require a new artifact. Anything else you want to call out?
Du coup, je pense que voilà, ils ont terminé.
No,
just the whole team that worked on this they just brought it.
Yeah.
So I'm super proud of everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for all your hard work. Everyone at Bungie who worked on this. Pats on the back for everybody. Lots of love in this room.
Comme d'hab, hein,
if you're sitting in chat hoping for another 2 tokens and a blue moment, we're here to rewrite history. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable you to discover the rewards and how all that works. The first loot drops will be for you to earn. Season of Dawn begins on December 10th. And, John Toe, one thing we didn't cover is that you have written a number of different chapters of lore, and we're going to be sharing those on Bungie.net. So if you'd like to read about the stories that we're telling before you start to experience them in the game, starting at the end of this stream, we're going to publish our first chapter of pre-launch web lore to the Bungie blog. Go check it out. And we're going to have another one to publish every day between now and launch. So on Tuesday, the weekly reset will change the game more than it does on your standard week. We're really looking forward to you playing Season of Dawn. We thank you very much for tuning into this live stream. No matter which platform, no matter which channel you're using to watch us, we do love getting the community together to receive some new news. And we can't wait to see you again on Mercury. Please watch your step. It's a dangerous place. I'm Deej. Thanks to all of the developers who played the new activity or talked about their work sitting in the hot seats. This is the end of our show for today.
Ok, on n'a pas eu énormément de choses de révéler durant ce live, je vois. Parce que la plupart des choses ont été révélées avec le trailer qui nous remontre actuellement et sur leur site hier. Du coup, voilà, on a pu quand même voir un petit peu plus sur la nouvelle activité Kebal. Donc la nouvelle activité voilà, qui se fait sur Mercure à 6 joueurs. Comme l'offensive Vex, mais sauf que là c'est avec des Kebal et c'est pas exactement les mêmes combats à faire. Comme vous avez pu le voir, c'est pas la même map. Ce sera de l'aléatoire aussi pour pas que ce soit redondant, qu'on fasse toujours la même chose à chaque fois. Du coup ça peut être stylé de faire cette activité. À voir les loots maintenant. À voir les loots, si c'est bien de farmer ou si on va avoir tous les loots en 2 secondes comme on a pu le voir avec la saison des éternels. Hein. On avait tous les loots en 2 secondes. Pas de grosses nouveautés. Non, ouais. Pas d'énormes nouveautés. Après c'est une saison. À l'instar de la saison précédente, c'est qu'en fait on avait le DLC Bastion des Ombres qui est sorti. On a eu la nouvelle saison qui est sortie, du coup 2 trucs en même temps, du coup ça fait énormément de contenu. Et là c'est vrai que c'est une saison qui arrive. Du coup on aura du contenu mais ce sera pas non plus oufissime, hein. Faut pas s'attendre à avoir un nouveau jeu. Voilà, on aura de nouveaux ajouts, de nouvelles choses à farmer. Après peut-être qu'on aura des choses cachées qui vont arriver, hein, qui vont nous dire à partir de mardi prochain. Et ce serait pas mal. Là hop, on peut voir le petit gameplay de nouvel exo fusil Ikea.
Bring the sky down upon them.
Bon bah voilà, allez, du coup, moi ce que je vais faire, c'est que je vais faire une petite pause là. Du coup, c'était pas prévu le petit live. Le petit live direct comme ça. Ce que je vais faire moi, c'est que je vais couper le live et puis on se retrouve un peu plus tard dans la soirée. Donc je vais aller manger et puis on se retrouve et puis on fera du Destiny 2, on fera du PVP compétitif. Et si vous voulez, on parlera un petit peu de ce qui s'est passé sur le live et de la nouvelle saison qui arrive mardi prochain. Bon, en tout cas, pour ceux qui veulent voir du live PVP soir, vous inquiétez pas, ce sera soit à 21h, soit avant. Voilà. Au plus tard, à 21h, je lancerai le live. Le temps que je mange, voilà, que je me pose 2 secondes. Et puis, on retourne sur le jeu. Bon, allez, merci tout le monde d'avoir regardé. Et puis, on se retrouve à tout à l'heure. Voilà, avant 21h sur Destiny 2 en PvP compétitif. Allez, salut tout le monde. Et aussi, j'ai oublié de dire, mais passez aussi sur Discord si vous voulez parler un petit peu de ces nouveaux ajouts, des spoils, etc. Parce que sur Discord, il y a pas mal de choses qui circulent en ce moment. Allez, à toutes.